Hello guys and gals, Buffalo here. I'm up here at the reloading shack today. I've got the Ruger PC Carbine out and I'm going to make a little modification to it, and I thought I'd share that with you guys. I've had this gun since back around September or October, and it's just been a fantastic little firearm. I know you guys haven't seen me doing any videos with it yet, but I assure you that's going to change. You're going to see some videos on this thing. Start out by talking about the factory sights. They're decent, pretty good iron sights, give a pretty good sight picture. They're aperture style sights. The adjustments on the rear are a little wonky. There's some tick marks for the elevation adjustment to give you reference points, but there's no marks or no clicks or anything on the windage. So once you loosen that windage adjustment up, it's just guesswork from there on. But once you get it dialed in, they're pretty good sights. I like the iron sights, but to me, this little carbine just screams for a red dot. I put my Primary Arms Advanced Micro Dot on here. Great little red dot if you guys are in the market for one. Again, it's just a quality product. I mounted on the receiver, the integral 1913 Picatinny rail that's on the receiver of the Ruger. Couple of problems with this that I found after I mounted that. Now, I shoot it pretty good like this. Nothing wrong with running it this way, really, but I found a better way to run it, and that's what we're going to do today. The issues that I had with mounting it like this is it raises the sight height, so that I no longer have that good cheek weld. The stock, the drop in the stock is designed to line your eye up perfectly with the iron sights. And even with this low profile of this micro dot, it still raises the sight height. So now I'm up higher on the stock, and it's hard to be consistent if you don't have that good cheek weld. So that's one issue. Of course, the other issue, these factory sights are mounted on the barrel, and I think Ruger did that for a reason. This being a takedown firearm, that's one of the main selling points of this little firearm, is its ability to come apart like that. If the sights are on the barrel, you don't have to worry so much about your point of impact changing when you take the gun down and put it back together. Now, I know the owner's manual explains to rack the bolt 4 or 5 times anytime you take it down to get everything lined back up, but still, there's a chance that your point of impact will change. And that's why I've got this little rail here from TACCOM. I bought this from TACCOM from their website. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to replace my rear sight with this little rail. And then that'll give me the ability to mount my red dot up here on the barrel, so I don't have to worry about my point of impact changing. And it's going to lower my sight to where I'll have that nice cheek weld again. At least that's how I'm hoping it's going to work out. So let's swap this rear sight out for that Picatinny rail and see how she looks. All right, this should be pretty simple, but I'll run through it real quick and show you what you need. You'll need a 1/16 Allen head driver and a T10 Torx bit or driver in order to remove your sight and replace it with this Picatinny rail. And then, of course, if you're going to mount your red dot, you'll need whatever size the cross bolt is on your red dot. Mine happens to be a T15. So you'll need a driver to put your bits in, or if you've got a T-handle or whatever. And I recommend a torque wrench. It's always good to apply even torque to everything, and a torque wrench allows you to do that. So we'll need the 1/16 Allen head to remove the aperture from the rear sight. It was easy enough. We'll set it over here to the side. Also, the 1/16 will remove the elevator. So we'll set that to the side. And now we'll need our T10. I like to loosen these just a little at a time. Anytime there's multiple fasteners, just a little bit. And now that they're loose, I'll run them all the way out. Now we can line our rail up with these two outside holes. Normally I would degrease everything, but I didn't bring any degreaser out here with me, and I don't want to stop the video and restart it, but it would be a good idea to degrease everything. And these two screws that we took out are going to go back in. We're going to reuse them to hold this Picatinny rail on. I like to use a little of the blue thread locker. Doesn't take much. Overdid it on that one. Snug everything back in. And I'm going to torque it. The instructions doesn't give us a torque rating, but I'm going to put about 25 inch-pounds. On those two screws. Bring them both up just a little at a time till the torque breaks. Right there. And right there. So now we've got our rail on. All we have to do is put our red dot on. Again, I like to use a little blue thread locker on the threads. You've got options here as to how far back. I need to loosen that bolt up a little bit. But you've got options with your grooves as to how far back you want it. I'm going to set it back on that second notch. This one takes the T15. I'm going to torque that to about 35 inch-pounds per Primary Arms' instructions for their crossbow. Need to adjust my torque wrench to 35 right there. Just like that. So we're all done. That was real time and that simple. All right, so as you can see, that's much better. The sight is much lower. Now the drop is just right. I still get my good cheek weld as if I was using the iron sights. That's the great thing about a little red dot sight like that, is you don't have to worry about eye relief. You can mount the sight as forward as you like. Now, since I wouldn't be using this front sight, I may go ahead and remove it. You don't have to. It's not really in my way, but if you wanted to take that front sight off, it would be easy enough. Just two of the T10 Torx screws holding it on. I may just leave it on there, and always when you take stuff like that off, label it and put it up, because you may want to go back to using your iron sights at some time or another. But that's about all I got. If you guys will excuse me, I've got to get down to the range and get this little carbine sighted in. I'll talk with y'all again soon.